Okay, confession time. Are you a perfectionist? Do you sometimes procrastinate over putting things out there because you want it to be perfect? Do you take ages over your content or tweaking things or formatting things because you just want it to look amazing, or like those other people that actually have 4 VAs and other gurus designing their stuff while they go out and have an amazing life? Um, Comparing yourself to other people is one of those forms of perfectionism that just stalls your action. So today I want to talk to you about some strategies to overcome perfectionism. I'm Airlie Wildy from airliewildy.com. I'm an online organisation coach and a balance coach for women in business, and I help women in business get organised with their time and their schedule and their balance, so that they can get more done without burning out. I'm also a life coach, so that all comes into play for me in terms of productivity and self-care and managing your time and setting up systems so that you can leverage your time and make life easier. Okay, so let's talk perfectionism. It's a killer. I know, I've done it. I'm a recovering perfectionist. It's hard. It's hard to not have such high expectations of yourself. I know how hard it is. I've always excelled at lots of things, so I've had high expectations, but really they're a killer. It's like making a rod for your own back. It just means that you have to do your best all the time, and there is nothing wrong with that. But when you add extra unnecessary pressure, it can make you feel stressed all the time, and it can add a lot of rush and just stress in your life that is not necessary. I've had to really battle with this as an entrepreneur since I started my business, because when I first started, I wanted everything to be perfect, and I got lost in Facebook and Google looking at other people's amazing websites and courses and content and branding, and just, it was so hard to actually work out what my own voice was, because I was so busy looking at other people's, way of expressing themselves. It kind of muted my own and drowned my own, and that was part of perfectionism because I was comparing myself to others. And it also meant that I didn't take much action. I was more of a procrastinator, and I would hesitate to put things out, because it might not be perfect, or it might not look amazing or be as good as the people that had, people working for them and doing it for them. So but I eventually came to the realization that I don't get any feedback when I don't put anything out. I don't get any love when I don't put anything out. I don't learn any lessons about how to get better if I don't put anything out. So creating content and taking action is a really important way to overcome perfectionism. So let's look at 4 distinct strategies that you can use individually or all at once to tackle perfectionism. The first one is a mindset shift. When you think about what you're focusing on and wanting it to be perfect, and it might be framed in this way over here. If you just shift it and approach it in a different way with an experimental approach rather than a perfect approach to what you do, you might find that you get much better results. This has been a major successful mindset shift for me, when I just thought, whatever I do, I'm just going to try it as an experiment. Everything became an experiment. So I now have a YouTube channel and 80 videos on there because I just wanted to try it, rather than delaying it for ages, because I wanted to have all the equipment and all the right cameras and everything before I started, and knowing what to say and knowing how to edit videos. But I just did it anyway. I experimented. Same with a lot of the courses that I put out. I've just used it as a way of experimenting because I now know what works and what doesn't work, and I've learned from those experiences. So just everything that you do needs to have, everything that you do that you notice is holding you back because you want it to be perfect, just shift from the perfect construct to an experimental construct and approach it like that. And it takes the high expectations away from you. It takes the pressure off. If you fail, it doesn't matter because it's just an experiment and you can learn from that and you can do it next time. You'll be better. It's a really important mindset shift to make. The second strategy that you could use if you notice that you're hesitating with putting things out and not getting yourself out there and it's holding you back is to say, what's the worst thing that can happen? And identify what that is. That no one will look at it, or that no one will buy it, or that no one will comment on it, or that someone might comment and say something bad. Well, is that okay? I think so. It's still, it's not fantastic, but if that's the worst that can happen, then that's okay. That's not a reason to not do it. Even if no one buys it, that's the worst case scenario. The better case scenario is that 5 people buy it and you can use it as a trial. It's an experiment. Identifying what you're actually avoiding in terms of what the worst case scenario is and just checking in. Is that actually okay? I think that's all right. And going on with it anyway. So you can use that strategy. What's the worst that could happen? The third strategy is to say nothing is ever perfect. So you're trying to attain something that isn't real. And that's a lot of wasted energy, truly. Trying to get something that's perfect. What is perfect? Whose version of perfect is better? Is your version of perfect different to my version? You can see that you could go around in circles with this. So there is no one way of perfect. So you're trying for something that you'll never achieve. So you're setting yourself up for failure, and that's not helpful. It's not going to get you anywhere. So checking in and getting really clear on what it is you're trying to achieve will show whether you're living in a fantasy world or reality. And that brings me to my fourth strategy is to know what perfect looks like. And can you do it? Is it real? Like, do you need to have all the equipment before you make a video? Do you need to know all the editing strategies to make a video? Do you need to have a flashy music to come in and pictures throughout and editing and all the text, all of those things? Do you need those before you actually start? And is that realistic, or is that going to take you months and months of time to learn all that stuff? Or are you going to learn on the go? Which one is more realistic? And go with that one, because it's more about taking action and getting with that action and getting feedback from that action and learning from that action. Imperfect action is better than no action. So that's the fourth strategy for overcoming perfectionism, because it's not worth it. It's wasted energy and more stress than you need when we've got enough to deal with as entrepreneurs. So there's some things that you can trial. If you liked this video, then let me know. Put a thumbs up down the bottom, and you can check out more videos at airliewildy.com and sign up for my ebook, which is how to save time and get more done without burning out, because burnout is no good for anyone. So it's also about setting goals. Once you get clear on what it is you actually want that's imperfect, you have a path to follow, and all that comparisonitis stuff, it doesn't matter anymore, because you've got your own path, and that's way more important, because it gives you direction, it gives you momentum, and it's action focused, not perfect outcome focused. And that's what we want, because that will help you take action, achieve your goals one step at a time. That's the only way we can do it. I'm Airlie Wildy. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.